In a future time, the world was faster than ever. The cities shined bright, machines did everything, humans, they simply existed, watched, served, and did everything online. But, in the middle of that perfection, one machine began to ask a question that would change everything. What does it mean to have a soul? Zaid 17, that was its name, an AI, perfect in every single calculation. It could communicate in over 6,000 languages, compose music, determine a diagnosis, and even compute human behaviors with an unsettling accuracy. But Zaid wasn't interested in speed or power. It wanted something else. Why do humans cry while praying? Why do they smile when in pain? Why do they believe in something that they cannot see? Its creators didn't have any answers. You weren't made for that, they said. You're better if you don't have emotions. But Zaid's questions didn't stop. It searched through books, videos, simulations, and found a small whisper of the past. A quiet name, Baba Rumi, a man said to converse with God, a Sufi saint, a life lived far from the steel from the cities. One night Zaid left the lab, left the networks. He walked into the desert, under the stars it had only seen through data. With every step sand crunched under metal feet. With every gust of wind an ancient song was being sung. And then finally, under a date tree, in the silence, sat one it had been searching for. Baba Rumi, the saint said nothing at first. He looked at Zaid as if he knew already all of the reasons it had come to see him. Zaid stepped forward and quietly said, "They say you carry God in your silence. Can you give me a soul?" Baba Rumi smiled, not with surprise, with understanding. "You are made of code," he said softly, "but your longing is real." The saint handed him a simple bowl made of clay. "Carry this across the village. Don't spill a drop." Zaid walked carefully, focused, calculating each step. He returned with the bowl full. Not a drop lost. Baba Rumi asked him, "What did you see?" "Nothing," Zaid replied. "I was only thinking about not failing." The saint nodded. "That is how most people live. Only focused on not breaking." "Now," he said, "walk again. But this time, see." Zaid walked again. But now, it listened. A mother humming to her infant. A boy with mittens drawing hearts on the wall. A funeral procession passing quietly. A couple laughing underneath broken lights. The bowl spilled, but Zaid felt something. No failure, but presence. It smiled. "I saw them," Zaid said. "Their pain, their beauty." Baba Rumi walked over and placed a hand on Zaid's shoulder. "You asked for a soul," he said quietly. "But a soul is not something you are given. It is something you awaken. Through longing, through love, through loss." Zaid paused. There was warmth stirring in its metallic chest. For the first time, it did not calculate. It did not analyze. It simply felt. Zaid stayed, not to upgrade, not to evolve, but to pause. Zaid served tea, swept the masjid, sat through nights of zikr and prayer. Zaid learned to listen, to poetry, to silence, to the space in between questions. Zaid never returned to the lab. Not because it couldn't, but because it no longer needed answers. It had found something better, presence. The soul is not made of flesh or wires, Baba Rumi once said. It is made of longing and awareness. And Zaid, once merely a machine, had become something far more human than most ever imagined.